Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers. I'm an instructor for 8258 Module 8. This is pre-production and prototyping your sci-fi military outpost interior game level, Part 1. This is Part 1 of a four-part series. And this will run just like your courtyard ran, the same exact process. I'll place my introduction video here, the weekly schedule, software we're going to be using, and the overview. Again, I'm going to kind of paraphrase this really quickly, but I want you to read this line for line. Make sure you get everything just right so you understand everything. But basically, you're going to be creating a sci-fi game level following my template. Okay, we'll take you through that, following the template. So here's the template, and what you're going to be doing is you can create whatever shape, you can create whatever room size. Again, we have restrictions, and you can have multiple levels, okay? But we need a crew quarters, we're going to need a lounge, we're going to need a mess hall, weapons and storage, main airlock, main control room, science lab, and med lab. The only thing I ask is that it makes sense when you put it together, okay? And so you have to have these rooms, at least 8 rooms, okay? And they have to be one of these, you know, basically meaning that this, you know, one of the rooms will have a crew headquarters. You're going to be naming what your level is going to be, okay? And you're going to need to have the key. Okay, you're going to have a grid just like this. You're going to create a grid just like this and draw your own level. But you have to have these rooms. A weapons storage room doesn't need to be here. It can be, you know, you're going to create this. You're going to design this yourself. This is just an example. But you do need to tell me what room it is. You're going to have to name the room, and it has to be this name. Okay, so wherever you put these and however you put them together, hopefully I want them all to connect somehow. It's going to be a first-person shooter. Make sure you set that up in Unreal 4. If you have questions, go ahead and email me at jbyers3@jcc.edu. 1 unit is equal to 5 feet. That's the unit system you're going to be using for your drawing. I want it to be clean and concise. Okay. And I want you to turn in the one with the grid behind it, and then one without the grid. But I need to have all the elements in here. Okay, all the elements, which means you're going to have a room that says crew quarters, a room that says lounge, a room that says mess hall, and so on and so forth. You have to have 8. You can have more. You can have 8 plus. You also need to put your name on it. Here's the grid system that you're going to be using. So basically pre-production, if all else fails, you don't have Photoshop and you need this grid, just right click over it and save image as, and you can pop this into any program and go ahead and draw right over top of it and turn it in. If you have Photoshop, great, you can download this file here, and you can set up your file by doing these things. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. So file, new, and you can actually create this yourselves. You don't have to download anything. You can create this. So the width will be 1920 pixels, height will be 1080. You'll have it in landscape. You're going to have resolution at 300 pixels per inch, not inches, pixels per inch. And then create. And it probably won't look like this. It'll look like something else. Probably look like, let's see here, probably look like this. So what you have to do is go to view, and you have to go to show, and then you're going to have to go to grid. And then your grids won't look like this as well. So you want to set it up to this, to look like this. And each one of those grid squares equals 5 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So each one of these large squares is 20 feet by 20 feet. So you can change that by going to Edit, to Preferences, and to Guides, Grid, and Slices. And then you'll come up with this, and I want you to change this to grid line every 0.25 inches. Okay, and subdivisions of 4, and that'll get you exactly what you see here. Okay, great, awesome. And so I got it outlined here as well. Requirements and restrictions. Again, we've got quite a few, so make sure you look these over as well. Instead of just doing one mood board, that's the first thing you're going to be doing. Instead of doing one mood board, you're going to be doing 3. Okay? So you're going to be creating, let's see here. How many do we got here? You're going to be creating a architectural mood board. I'm sorry. You'll be creating an architectural mood board, a lighting mood board, and a props and asset mood board. And the architectural mood board will have at least 8 or more reference images. Okay. And the lighting mood board will have 8 or more reference images, and the props and assets mood board will have 10 or more. You're going to create you're going to rough out a draft of the top view of your new science fiction military outpost interior game level, and then you are going to clean that up, and just like you did last time, it's exactly the same thing as the courtyard as far as the pre-production work goes, except you're going to do 3 mood boards instead of just 1. And it's going to be a military, sci-fi military outpost. Again, you guys can go out there and check out, do any research you need to do, get all the information you need to get, and get all those images. Now, you guys know what a mood board is. You know how to put one together. If you use PureRef, then you're going to have to save it as a JPEG. If you don't, you won't get your full credit. So I need it to be a JPEG, and I need it to be arranged in a way that makes sense. And you'll need to have 3 of those. Okay, you'll need to have 2 drawings. You're going to be turning in 2 of those drawings, and then you're going to turn in a 30-second sequence of you playing your level, and you have to go through the entire level, every room. Okay, and at least 30 seconds or more, and you need to compress it, obviously, otherwise it would be way too big. And you can see that you can look at what I have here. If you just have you don't have any idea what you're going to be doing, then you can just look at mine and you know, just do some different things with it. And I'm okay with that. And make sure you use the grid. Alright, so you can see you can look at the requirements and restrictions that we kind of touched on a little bit, but read those very thoroughly. If you have questions, let me know. And we got videos on how to create a walkthrough, and we've got the rubrics here that tells you exactly what I'm going to be grading you on. I'm going to be grading you on the rough draft and the finished top-down view of your sci-fi level. That's worth 10 points, and then your mood boards are all worth 10 points. And your BSP prototype, lighting, and gameplay movie is worth 20 points. So that comes out to 40 points. And then your turn-in instructions are probably the most important thing, and make sure you read those very thoroughly. Again, I'm looking for a rough draft and a cleaned up version of your top-down view orthographic of your floor plan for your sci-fi level. And it needs to be 1920 by 1080 with a resolution of 300, and please save it as a JPEG file. You are going to turn in your architectural, lighting, and props mood boards of the sci-fi game level. You're going to turn in a top-down orthographic from Unreal 4. Make sure you hit F11 for full screen view and then the G key, and just give me a top-down view, a BSP screenshot of the entire sci-fi game level so I can see it from the top view. And if you give me a wireframe and a smooth shade of that would be great. and you're going to turn in a screenshot of one corner of every room, not every corner, just one of the rooms, the corridors, and the hallways that you create. And make sure you hit the G key for game mode, F11 for full screen, and you're going to have at least 16 plus shots. I have no idea how many rooms you're going to have. If you have more than 8, then you'll have more than 16. So that's why I put 16 plus. And then you turned in a 30-second sequence of you playing your own level, and you have to play through the whole entire thing, and then you're done. Okay. And these are the folders. I need a main folder, a screenshots folder, and then a gameplay movie folder, and you'll put them all into a zip folder and upload them into Module 8 when you're all finished. That's about it. There's a lot of reading in here. Make sure you understand all of the restrictions and really focus on the restrictions. Just make sure you have everything that you need to have. We need to have operating doors this time. So make sure that you can either find there are some. In fact, there's a kit or a pack, if you will, on the marketplace. That's science fiction pack that has doors that actually work, and I'm okay with that. That way you don't have to do any triggering. Otherwise you're going to have to set things up in blueprints, and if you're not into doing that, then seek out the one. I think there's one that has the working doors, and I don't know, you'll have to do some research and find out which one that is, but feel free to use that. But there is one out there, and if not, then I will post how to create a opening door. It's just more time consuming than anything. It's not hard to do. So anyway, I'll have that posted so you guys can do your own doors if you want to. And just make sure you read everything and you understand what I'm going to be grading you on. Again, I kind of took you through very quickly. And take your time and have fun with this one. It's 4 weeks long. And you'll have to do I want you to think about start gathering assets and set dressing things along the way. We have 4 weeks, so you can start looking for stuff and start building up your library at home for sci-fi stuff. The level has to be sci-fi, and it doesn't have to be military. It can be whatever, but the theme is military, and I appreciate it if you'd stick with that. I do want those rooms to be named those, okay? So you need to come up with something, maybe a backstory of your own level and what it's about. And just think about that because I'm going to have you guys upload your level designs on the discussion board, and I want you to be able to talk about it and what you were thinking of when you were actually creating it. Alright, put some thought into it, have some fun with it. This is a really fun module. It's smaller than the courtyard, and we still have 4 weeks, so you're going to have some time to really polish this up. I expect to have some polished pieces. And as we move on, the second, we have, like I said, 4 parts. This is just the first part, the pre-production. Okay, so this is going to be a little different. So what I want you to do is go on the marketplace and find a pack. And we're going to do modular pieces. We're not going to add materials to the BSPs. The BSP is a placeholder, so you can go through your level, test it, make sure it's looking good and the scale is right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the BSPs and replace them with the modular pieces. Okay, I just want to be clear about that. That's the only thing different than the courtyard. The courtyard, I actually had you put the textures directly on the BSPs, and in this one the BSPs are just a placeholder. Now we're actually getting into what they really do in production, where they don't really use the BSPs. That's just a placeholder, and then you apply the artwork, which is the modular pieces on, and you put them all together. It's kind of like a Lego set, and you put them all together, and in the next part, that's what you're going to be doing. So you really don't have to go out and look for materials. You're just going to go out and find your pack. You need to go on to Marketplace and you got to pick your pack. I'm not asking you to buy anything. If you want to buy something, go ahead. I don't care. But I'm not asking you to buy anything, and there are packs up there. Alright, I'll see you next week, and I'll see you in Module 9.